let's talk about movies. Today I want to talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day. The film is directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, who also directed Shang-Chi and Wonder Man. This movie does what you'd expect from a fresh installment in Spider-Man's journey. It seems to be setting up a new trilogy following an adult Peter Parker. And if you wish to compare it to its predecessors, I think it stands well among some of the best Spider-Man movies. The film is on a smaller scale than No Way Home, and I think it needed to be so. Less is more. And if this is, in fact, the start of a new trilogy, then it is a solid one. To begin with, the action and cinematography were spectacular, especially the fight against the Hand and the one with the Hulk. He's thinking on his feet, and it's not just about trading punches. And when he is struggling with his new condition, it feels very natural in its execution. As he wobbles, he teeters, he stumbles across the city, either be swinging or running. However, with this in mind, the CGI is quite clean. Too clean sometimes for my liking, and the beginning was a little janky. It just didn't have that feel of scale that I would associate with a film like this. And the CGI itself, there were moments where I thought the scene called for a grittier look rather than a clean, polished one. It made the shot look too artificial, and you can clearly see these shots when they appear on screen. It took me out of the movie for a few seconds. I like this film, but at times it just felt like the tone versus the action did not always match. Action called for a darker tone, but the tone was instead kept hopeful and kind of brand new day style. I do get that this is Spider-Man's character though, and that he finds hope in the darkest of times. But like I said, sometimes a grittier, more natural lens would have helped. The theme of this film is all about identity. It was all about Peter asking himself if he is Spider-Man, if he is Peter Parker. He's been trying to erase Peter from existence and leaning into the Spider-Man role wholeheartedly. And this raised a few questions for me. Questions like, how does he afford his flat? But more so, who is Peter? Who does he want to be? I hate when movies use the trope of I am hiding this from you to protect you from it. It's cheap. It never works. And it just takes away from the story. The antagonist is surprising. Big surprise, in fact. When I saw the name Jean Grey, I literally shouted, "What?" But it was something different, and I quite liked what they tried to do with her. It was a sort of origin story for Jean. A soft launch for the X-Men, which I look very forward to. I loved the Punisher, but could tell he was holding back a little. I think they have chemistry together, and I enjoy seeing the opposite views of these characters that then come together in the end in a very touching way. Frank believes everything that is a problem should be taken out of the equation, and he ends up shooting Peter by accident. Seeing him crying at the end and apologizing gave a very heartwarming moment with Frank that I've not seen before. I expected more from the Spider-Man hormone mutation. Kinda like when Peter turns into a spider in the animation, and in the end I was kinda left wanting in regards to that plotline. It ties in with the identity theme, of course. The more he leans into work as Spider-Man, the more spider-like he becomes. And I did enjoy seeing the different ways in which it affected Peter's body. Then, at the end, when he acknowledges the fact that he is both Peter and Spider-Man, he fully comes into his own as Spider-Man and gets an upgrade in strength, which was fantastic. They teased things with the inhibitor tech. I expect that to become a problem within the MCU, and despite Banner saying how complex it was to make, Peter sort of just made it like too easily for my liking. The whole MJ boyfriend plotline really went nowhere and actually was awful. It only served to make Peter jealous, to get him to run out and turn more spider-like and go a little bit nuts, but the boyfriend actually never shows up again. And MJ just chats some shit about him to Peter later on, which I thought was again a bit cheap. I mean, if you're going to invest and show this, then follow through a little bit more. Maybe show us a scene of her breaking up with him, or just a quick text would do even. Now, the post-credit scene was interesting. There's no direct, immediate post-credit scene. It's once all of the credits roll. So they kind of trick you with that one. And once that happens, then you get a post-credit scene. Is very short. It's like 10 seconds maybe. But my guess is that they are hinting at either Secret Wars, which we know is going to happen after Doomsday. This might be very far-fetched, but I thought Venom. Let's just wait and see. Now, Spider-Man Brand New Day is a worthy addition to the MCU chronology and kind of right before Doomsday. And I look forward to seeing what they do with the character next. I might do an Instagram video ranking my top 10 Spider-Man movies. Are there 10 of them? If there are 10 of them. So keep your eyes out for that. Please consider liking and subscribing to this channel if you enjoy my content. Please comment below and let's start a discussion. Let's talk about movies. Until next time.